Good morning and welcome to another Full Transparency Trading session. We are doing the morning breakdown, and first we're going to talk about this trade that I just set up right here. I just set up this trade for the full range. Last night I left the trade open right here for 5 contracts, a very small trade for at 57.02, which was the low at the time, to go back up to this area right here, which we didn't. We got about $1,000. We rejected off of the pullback right there, which I should have actually put my take profit right here. Wasn't thinking about that. And then we rejected down and sold out about $750 lower, right? So now we have a range. We wicked out this range right here to the downside below my support that I set up yesterday. We haven't made it to resistance. And now what we did was we just set our trade at the very tip top of the range. We're just protecting about $1,500 because if we break out above this wick here and we start looking to the upside, then we're just going to continue to push up anyway. So we set it at the top of the body of the candle there to enter a trade. We're going to go walk our dogs, and if we come back and it's going our way, we'll go ahead and look into that. 15-minute time frame has shifted up, so now this down here that I thought that was too high yesterday is now exactly where we should be. So now this area here that I figured would push down to this line right here is actually fine where it is. So that's where the market makers say that we should be. The 15-minute 200 EMA has pushed up to it. We're just looking to go up to my red line, reject off of it, and we'll take whatever we can get, 15, 3, 4, or whatever. It's the amount that I get out of this trade is immaterial, but this is the current range that we're working with, and this is why I set my trade up within that range. Should we break out to the top range, I don't want to be in a trade that's worth less, that's getting less money, which is why I've only risked like $1,500. Now we are at 55.07, so we're about $3 off of my entry point. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame and switch over to MES. So today is the news day. We had the pullback. We've got the resistance right here that has become support now. We have the support way down here that has become a demand zone. We are way off of the 4-hour. Obviously, we're not coming back there anytime soon. The 4-hour right here was from Thursday of last week. We made it all the way up to this point right here. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at where we had the gap up, but we need to keep these all in mind. So keep in mind that this was an area of resistance. That's why I put this little area of support line right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this and I'm gonna draw a better one. So first you're gonna put the body of the candle right there. You're gonna right click, you're gonna add an alert. And then you're gonna create your line off of that alert line right there and just drag it all the way through to the current time frame. So as you can see, the old support area right here that we had a struggle to go through became about 50%. So this is your demand zone. And this one's going to be demand 0. So this is your lowest demand zone. For the rest of the stuff, you're going to go to the left. And you can see that this used to be our Tuesday's level of resistance that we broke up into. I mean, the support that we pushed up into. But then we're going to go further back. Just shrink down the 4-hour time frame real quick. This is the area that we need right here. So now this becomes demand 0 right here at the top of these lines that we had pushed up to at 65. This is the area that we were struggling to break through before. This is the area that we ran up to all those months ago that we finally took over right here. We've got this on. We've broken through and wicked it out up to the upside. So now we're going to put a new level right here. I know that it's just the wick of a candle, but we want to mark that out just because it's a significant area to work as your supply zone because we haven't broke it yet. Let's go ahead, put the dot there, add text, supply 0. Okay, so this is supply 0. This is demand 0 down here. This supply 0 up here, and your actual current supply zone is where we have this box here. So we're pushing up into the box. Place another line. Right click. You're gonna add alert right there, and then you're gonna put your line straight through the center of this supply zone box that we have, which is right above the candle bodies, and this is main supply. So this is the area that we're actually rejecting off of that's pushing us down. This is where we're trying to break through today. If news goes well, because we're still in the upwards trend, we pull it all the way down to this point right here. So we're going to put a white line there. Right click, add alert line. Add alert here, and also one at the bottom of this one. Why? Because these are your primary demands. Prime demand. So that's your prime demand zone right there. So now we have our prime demand zone starting right here, ending right there. We have our prime supply zone, this purple line split straight through the middle, pushing up. And then we have supply zone 0 as we see up here. And this is the main area that we're working with right now. We're staying above the 9 EMA. We pushed down to this little area right here where we linked into it, went back above it. So this is where the 15-minute time frames 200 EMA is. This is where the imbalance starts. So this right here is going to be our primary level of support. Go ahead and write on that plus sign there that little thing makes, right on that cross. Add your alert symbol there. Put your line across it. This is prime support. We've already went down to it. There's your prime level of support right there, right? So we're pushing down currently. We have a prime level of support. Your prime level of resistance is right here. You can just put a line on the purple line. Go ahead and add your text. This is an area that we resist off of all the time. So primary resistance, primary support, main supply area, main demand zone. What happened to my words? I don't see my words on here. That's okay. We'll stretch it to the left. Main demand zone. So now we have all of our areas drawn out. The big news comes out today. We're going to figure out if we're going to explode to the upside. We explode to the upside. Now, a couple things could happen. We might just run, if we don't get like super great news and they're not really excited, we might just run up to this point where we find the body of a candle, stop again, and reject once more. We may shoot down to one of these two lines and then start to go up. But if we just stay, if they just don't like the news at all, we'll push right back down to this 23 MA or this primary area that you see resistance right here that used to be resistance will be the area that holds us up if we decide to push back down there. So we have all of our levels drawn out for this morning. As far as the analysis as to what it is, we have an uptrend. We've been uptrending on the 15 minutes. We're uptrending on the 5 minutes as well. We're just touching the line right now, so we're gonna see if we're gonna either come down here to the 99 area, really the 5700 area that we've been hanging out at this whole time, and then go from there. On the 1 minute time frame, you can see that we've already touched and came through it. So we're just looking to see if we're gonna go back down to that 5700 flat that we keep coming down to down here, and go from that point on. But 5700 is a big deal. 5698. Let's see if we had any lower points in the middle of the night. So 4 a.m. we went all the way down to 98. So 98 to 700 seems to be the area. So you can pretty much protect yourself down there if you wanted to take a trade to the upside from that point. Last time you reached 83 is at 324 yesterday. So yep, 98 to the 700 area is where I'm looking to take a trade to the upside, and we'll see if we can pop off of that for the morning play. So we're gonna set up a trade, unlock this, put on the 15 minute for a second, refresh it, unlock it again. We're also gonna go over to ES. Since we have all our levels on MES, we have them already on ES as well. We're gonna come down here. We're just gonna place a trade right here. Boom. Do the same 20 to the upside, because you can have a trade in both reverse, and then we'll put it just below there. That way, if it breaks out and we're wrong, we're risking about 2,000. Looking to sell out at the top. Boom. So buying to the top side, risking 2,000. Matter of fact, we're gonna reduce it a little bit. We're gonna modify to 15 contracts, and then we'll keep the same $2,000 risk, giving us more space to the downside. We'll risk 2,200, and then we'll risk 10,000 to the upside, which is 53 ticks. Modify the order, and that puts us right inside of that range right there. So getting in at 5,700. Flat. Modify. There we go. That's what that should look like. And that's the slight risk that we're taking this morning, and the big trade that we're looking for. That's the full range from the bottom to the top. Nothing crazy. So if we look for a pullback, obviously we can pull back to the 200 EMA for the 15-minute in the morning. So we'll be out of this trade before 8:30, by the way. But right now we're just looking to come down to that 5,700 area one more time, and then be able to get back into a trade to the upside. If we get into the upside to where we're currently at, that will give us $6,900. So we'll modify to about $5,000 and keep it pushing. This is just the reason that this is such a small gap is because if we fall below there, we know that we're pushing lower. We haven't been able to fall below there all night long. So if we do fall below this area, we know that we're pushing lower. We're not going to be in a trade deeply negative when we know that it's going down for sure. Of course, there are no certainties in the stock market. There's no 100% in the stock market, but you can get pretty darn close based off of previous history. And that's it for today. Those are my two trades. That's the morning breakdown. I am bullish on the day, but I'm going to do whatever the market tells me to do. So I carry no bias into my trades, but I am bullish, believing that the market will run higher for today, since we wicked out yesterday and we haven't hit that high. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that out on my screen to add for today, since we wicked it out yesterday, but we don't have a new high. Go to the 4-hour time frame and fix that. All right, so now we are all set for our day, and we will check in with you guys later to let you guys know if that trade works out or if it doesn't. This has been another Full Transparency Trading Session. I'm your host, Sebastian, and I'm out.